Edge at 11 starts now.
Tonight on The Edge, investigators stumble onto a human trafficking operation.
It started as a call for a strong-arm robbery, but Detroit police would uncover 2 women held captive. Fox 2's Jessica Dupnack tells us what happened.
As a cop, you never know what a seemingly simple 911 call will bring. And in this case, the investigators' intuition likely saved 2 women from months, if not years, of torture.
They're definitely not out trying to help them. They're definitely trying to make a profit off of their addictions.
Unit number 9 of this apartment complex on Detroit's west side. 2 women held against their will, drugged up and forced into prostitution.
Seems like they were being held there against their will for the act of prostitution.
Last week, a man who answered an ad on a known prostitution website came here to meet a woman. When he arrived, something seemed off when he encountered Darlene Moore and Diamond Clark. They allegedly tried to shake him down for cash. He called Detroit police, who came on what they thought would be a strong-arm robbery call. The 2 victims answered the door, and the officer's spidey senses went up.
And we were able to put it together and get a lengthy amount of charges on the 2 suspects in this case.
Evidence from interviews with the women and paraphernalia from the apartment led to the arrest of Moore and Clark by DPD's Vice Squad. They're charged with human trafficking and unlawful imprisonment.
What's your name, ma'am?
Diamond Clark.
Diamond Clark apparently took photos of the women and posted them on sites to lure men in, but they didn't see the profit and went right to her Cash App.
Darlene Moore?
Yes, sir.
Her associate, Darlene Moore, was the brute. He's charged with assault, too, allegedly keeping these women hooked on drugs and dependent. And his criminal history dates back to the 90s, with 3 weapons charges, even a second-degree murder conviction.
That Mr. Moore is a danger to the community. I will give him a $500,000 cash surety bond.
The Wayne County Prosecutor's Office suggested in court there are more women who are forced into this operation, but at least 2 are safe for now.
Because the unknown is how long could this have gone on for? How long would they be taken off the streets against their will?
Again, big bonds for these 2, $500,000 each, and as of Wednesday night, they're both still in custody. Jessica Dupnack on The Edge.
Well, tonight, a former inmate of the Hiron Valley Women's Correctional Facility speaks out.
This after hearing about the latest $500 million lawsuit filed against the MDOC. Tamara Alexander, who served time in the early 2000s, said she was among several other women who witnessed or suffered the same sort of sexual abuse and retaliation while locked up at Hiron Valley. In spite of being threatened, she and several other women sued MDOC twice over the last several years about how they were degraded, sexually abused, and subject to retaliatory treatment by prison officers that still haunts them to this day.
The sexual abuse was horrific.
What did you have to deal with?
I just pretty much, put my stuff aside because I seen a lot of the other women's that really endured catching stuff that you couldn't get ever rid of and having kids they could never raise.
Because of the guards?
No, because of the officers, yeah.
And you actually saw this happening?
Yes.
Now, because of the evidence, MDOC settled both of those lawsuits, but have faced several more over the years, including one in 2022 filed by Andy Allen, who was a recovery coach at Hiron Valley back in 2020. Tonight on The Breakdown, she told me how she reported what women were forced to endure and was fired. You can hear that entire interview on fox2detroit.com.
Well, an update to a story we brought you last night about a former sergeant accused of sexual misconduct while at Dearborn Heights Police. The accused male, now with Ann Arbor Police, has been placed on administrative leave. A civil lawsuit alleges the sergeant sexually harassed young officers and sexually assaulted one of them. Tonight, Ann Arbor PD says the alleged incidents happened several years before the sergeant joined their department. Ann Arbor PD has also started an internal review. A gun goes off on a school bus. Now a teenager is in the hospital.
In Redford Township, police say it happened this afternoon just as Thurston High School students were packing up to head home. Fox News' Lauren Edwards shows us how students in the school district are now reacting.
It's terrible. Like, in the day and age that we live in right now, it shouldn't even been a thought.
Redford Township police investigating the scene of a gun incident Wednesday at Liam Thurston High School.
I'm completely shocked because, my sister goes here And that's not something that I want to hear, nor my parents want to hear.
Just don't bring it at all. Like, that's just, it's not school appropriate. It's actually not appropriate for anyone to have, actually.
Police say it happened around 2:45 p.m. The student suffered a non-fatal gunshot wound and was taken to the hospital and is in stable condition. The school district says the student was shot in the hand.
It's just terrible. Like, the guy got his, he got shot in his hand because people wanted to mess around and play around.
Police recovered the gun. The South Redford School District notified parents and guardians about the incident. The notification stated in part, quote, "We want to reassure our community that there is no ongoing threat to students, staff, or the campus. However, out of an abundance of caution to allow our school community time to process and heal, Thurston High School will be closed on Thursday, May 8th, 2025. The school says 2 students connected to the incident are under investigation.
Hopefully the kid can, is all right. I'm pretty sure all the other children are shocked as well. This is not really something that we expect to happen here in Redford, no doubt, right? So I'm just shocked.
Now, some of the students were telling us that the school doesn't have metal detectors, but sometimes they do bag searches. They don't know if that happened today. Now, we also got in contact with the mother of one of the students under investigation. She declined our request for an interview. And if you would like to read that full statement from the district, you could head to fox2detroit.com. Reporting here in Redford, Lauren Edwards, On the Edge.
On Detroit's west side, a suspect is in custody after a man is shot at a car wash in broad daylight. It happened around 11 this morning at the Fast Splash at Grand River and Fenkel. Police say the victim was sitting in his car at the Fast Splash when the suspect, someone he knew, approached him, and the two started arguing over a woman. Things got physical before police say the suspect pulled out a gun and shot the man several times. The suspect also shot himself in the hand and was later found at a nearby hospital. At last check, the victim is in critical condition. Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel is back in action, hosting a town hall on ways to tackle hate crimes.
Nessel also touched base on new legislation in the works that can be implemented locally. Fox News' Dave Kitchen has more.
Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel taking part in a West Bloomfield town hall on hate and extremism. With security so tight, organizers asked the press not to disclose the meeting location. Nessel underscoring the importance of recently passed laws expanding what counts as a hate crime at a time when she says anti-Semitism is on the rise like never before.
I'll never forget this. I had a senator say to me, so what? You just hate someone and now all of a sudden you go to prison? And I was like, man, have you never seen Law and Order or anything? Like, no, that's not how this works. Like, you have to commit an actual crime. You can't just hate someone. That hate has to be translated into an act.
The ADL just published a report saying anti-Semitic incidents around the world skyrocketed in 2024 and spiked 227% in the U.S. between 2021 and 2023.
We know, of course, the numbers showed that an exponential rise in hate crimes of all sorts, but especially in anti-Semitic incidents.
West Bloomfield State Rep Noah Arbit says he faced major headwinds when trying to get the bolstered hate crimes laws passed in the last couple of years.
I could tell you about how many times the bills seemed dead one evening only to be resurrected the next morning and then dead again that following afternoon. And that isn't even hyperbole. It happened multiple times.
The Attorney General also talked about her decision to drop the charges against several pro-Palestinian protesters from that encampment situation at U of M last year. She says that while she stands by the charges and believes there's enough evidence to show a crime was committed, she doesn't believe it would be a prudent use of her office's time in pursuing the case. Also notes it's been very contentious for the community. In West Bloomfield, Dave Kitchen, On the Edge.
Royal Oak residents getting a sneak peek at proposed parking changes coming to the city next year.
This comes after countless complaints about the current automated parking system. The city is looking to swap out that system with a different meter and kiosk system. Folks at today's open house could test those kiosks from 3 pre-approved vendors. It's safe to say the reviews are, well, mixed so far.
What's been your experience with these machines so far?
I've only done one, didn't like it.
I've checked out 2 of the machines so far, and they seem pretty easy to use as far as I can tell.
The city manager says they're also planning on hiring parking enforcement officers to man the meters and provide better customer service. Well, turning to the weather, we're in for a brief cool down tomorrow.
What?
Just a little.
Oh, just how? What are we talking about here, Rich?
Small, SM all.
Yeah.
Okay.
For tonight and for tomorrow, we do have a weak cold front crossing the region. There are a couple of showers up there through near Owasso and Flint. First, let me show you some live pictures from Hilo, Hawaii. Boy, look at that, near 80 degrees, very tropical there. Gotta love that. Around here, that small area of showers through Shiawassee County, for Genesee County, near Flint and Grand Blanc. But you can see they are fizzling out as we speak. How about the daytime highs today? 76 for us. It was a beautiful afternoon around here. 76 as far north as Mount Pleasant. There are the numbers at Metro Airport. 76 and 50 your high and low. It is cooling off for the area. 48 in Pontiac, 45 in Port Huron. Not quite as cool yet down in Adrian at 58. But the northeast flow continues for the rest of tonight and for tomorrow. And that's why Thursday will be on the chilly side, especially to start the day. 41 for the tip of the thumb. There's that weak cold front. It moves well south of the area. Then high pressure builds in. We have a beautiful stretch for Thursday afternoon, Friday, Saturday, Mother's Day, Sunday, and Monday. You'll see it all coming up in the 7-day. There is that stray shower chance overnight down to 45. Tomorrow is 61, so not as warm with the breeze. And then right there is the 7-day. A great stretch for the weekend highs, both days in the middle 70s. A full check at 4 a.m.
We can handle 61, I think. We can do it.
All right. The Detroit Police Department looking to connect with the community one step at a time. DPD's 9th Precinct officers kicked off their summertime tradition of Walk a Mile Wednesday on the city's northeast side. The goal, connecting with the community to improve relationships with Detroiters. Former Police Chief James White also made an appearance.
When he was my first assistant chief, which a lot of people forget, one of the first things we talked about was making sure that I got to know the community. So yes, I'm the architect, but it was motivated by the influence that he gave me to make sure that we had that connection in the community.
Well, for upcoming Wednesday walks, make sure you check the Detroit Police social media pages for the time and place.